Is technology at your work distracting you from actual work? Do you spend too much time troubleshooting PC or internet issues? IT Enabled can help. Our team of IT specialists can help you tackle your technology troubles and get you focused on growing your business in no time. Call to schedule your technology consultation. 936-225-3329. IT Enabled. We're here to help.
So today we have Lauren, Stacy, and Will Alvis. They are with us to visit about Leadership Tomorrow, another one of our leadership programs here at the Chamber of Commerce. Glad to have y'all with us today. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah. So why don't you start by telling the listeners about your background, what you actually do on a daily basis, not just Leadership Tomorrow, and then we'll jump into that.
You go ahead, Lauren.
All right.
Start us off.
What do I do? So my name's Lauren Stacy. I work for Angelina College as a recruiting manager. And so on a daily basis, it's been different. I mean, as everybody, the world kind of shifted with COVID. It's been a pretty virtual world for me. But as things are lightening up, I spend a lot of my day in high schools, working with counselors and meeting with students, figuring out how we can find the best fit for them at Angelina College and making sure that they know about all the different programs, whether that's credit or certificate programs available at Angelina College.
Perfect. How about you, Will?
So I am a financial advisor at Merrill Lynch, and it's not always about managing money. It's about managing people. So I got to keep Max and Alexis Pig in check constantly. But what I do is I work with people on a day-to-day basis to target and help people achieve or get closer to their financial goals, whether that's for retirement or we have a client that we had to put in something wrong, and they instead of a house, it was a boat. So we try to find specific goals and try to help them achieve those goals and feel better about themselves in retirement.
Cool.
Well,
so
good.
the goal was a boat instead of a house.
It was not. It was I'm not really sure, but we put it up there. It was like, we don't want a boat. Mm-hmm. Well, I said, well, it looks like you're getting a boat.
You're getting a boat. Not a bad problem to have, I guess.
We still joke about that concept. I mean, every time it's like, so have y'all bought that boat yet?
Yeah, awesome. I love it.
Well, today we're excited to talk about Leadership Tomorrow. So why don't you explain to the listeners kind of what the program is? How did you get involved? Things like that.
You want me to take it?
You got it.
All right. So what Leadership Tomorrow is, it's a leadership program that is available to high school juniors. And it is a program that starts out with leadership training in the morning, and then we go to different businesses or organizations depending on the day. And it's eye-opening for kids. It's eye-opening for us as adults to see the kids interact. I think the first time we did it, I had someone come and speak, and we talked about something at a very high level, and you see their eyes just get wide, or they go blank. So it's learning to coordinate and talk to them, but it's an educational and leadership program for them to really grow. I think it's a way for kids to meet new friends, meet new people within school systems, within school districts, but also grow in connection and make connections with business owners. I think we've seen Mark Hicks for the past couple of years. There's been other businesses out there that have offered internships, and so it's really a way for them to grow their resume, grow knowledge, and just grow within themselves. I think we look for kids who do have leadership qualities, and then some who might not exhibit all those leadership qualities, but they're there, and that the program can help enhance. And I think that's where counselors and people come in and are really able to help us when we pick the class. So
Nice.
How long is the program for? Just their junior year?
it's just a junior year. I think it starts. Well, we had the reception last
month.
night, last month. Can we edit that?
Yes,
Is that
we
how
can
it
edit
works?
that.
Okay.
Start over with the others.
Yeah, so we had the reception last month. They will do a obstacle course. It's a team building, and then we'll go through each month with a different program, and I think that'll run through May. And so we'll have the closing or the final reception in May.
So in May, when they come out of that program, what are you hoping that they've achieved? What are you hoping that they've received from Leadership Tomorrow?
So one of the big things he talked about, it's an opportunity to grow, and that growth looks different for everyone. One of the things that I'm super passionate about and I love, and the reason why I continue to serve on this committee is that it's an opportunity that the students get to meet each other. So we're hoping that, in May, when they walk away, they've got a friend from a different district. They've got a connection from a different district. And it's a great opportunity. I mean, the chamber knows well, networking, it serves so well because you're able to notice, okay, they have a strength in this area and I have a strength in that area. And together we can, better both of us, but even more so our community. So definitely we hope that they walk away having a better understanding of their personal strengths, but then also how others around them can help. One of the big things that we do with Leadership Tomorrow is that we are able to showcase our chamber members throughout Angelina County and Lufkin. And so we hope that they find a connection within one of those businesses that, maybe something does kind of stand out to them. And that if anything, they went in headstrong, I'm going to be a doctor. And then we have our health career day and they say, I am not going to be a doctor. And we think that's a win that they're able to make that observation and come to that conclusion in their junior year rather than in med school. Or
just to be clear, we are okay with doctors.
Oh, yes. Well, or to find something else that's super unique that they had no idea. I think that there's a lot that happens in Angelina County, a lot of really unique positions, a lot of people from all over the world that have found their way here. And so to give them a behind-the-scenes look at that and for them to graduate just having maybe a wider view of Angelina County than
I love
what
that.
maybe
That might be the most important part of any of it. I mean, I think I've talked about it on the podcast before, but that's such a huge decision for these young people to have to make. I mean, it's like, hey, you've been through 12 years of school. Now you've got a year to decide what you're going to do for the rest of your life. So go, go do it. Like when I was a kid, I knew for sure I wanted to be an attorney. Like I absolutely was positive. I mean, from when I was a young kid all the way up through high school. And then I did some job shadowing at a law office, and I was like, this is not what the John Grisham books told me it was going to be. I was like, this is like a research paper every single day. I was like, this is not for me, not for me.
Look, I think we were on the same path. I think
Yeah.
I wanted to do the same thing. I think it was the John Grisham books.
Totally
whether it
John
be the
Grisham. I will
Broken Brief
100% blame
or
them.
whatever it was.
Legally
Yeah.
Blonde. Come on, guys.
well,
you
I
watched
would-
Legally
I
Blonde.
wouldn't-
It wasn't Legally Blonde for me.
knew that you could do it.
Yep.
I wouldn't go that far, but I'm not saying it's doesn't have its place in cinematic history, but that wasn't the deciding factor. I think for me, the thing in watching the kids and seeing how it's connecting the dots. And when you start out in the morning and we discuss not where we're going, but why we're going there and how they connect. What I do, the economic financial services and local economy day, I want them to know why we're going to this business. What does this person do and how does it enhance Lufkin? And is it because they do this, this, and this, and they've increased this amount of revenue? They're providing jobs, which is increasing taxes, which is increasing all those things, payroll, are they enhancing the way of life? What do we have? What do we offer? And then why? And so I like to make sure that we are connecting those dots. This is why we're doing it. And along the way, hopefully they learn something.
Yeah, that makes a big deal.
I think it's important that listeners also know that it's not just kids from Lufkin. So we've got kids from all across Angelina County. I know this year we've got Lufkin, Diboll, Central, Hudson, Huntington, Zavala. I think that's what we've got this year. But we've also had kids from Piney Woods Christian. So it is open to any high school junior in Angelina County. And we love to be able to, to get in kids that are not just straight here in Lufkin. We want to be able to spread the wealth and the knowledge from all across.
So we have someone who went through the program right, originally, and then
In the 90s.
Yeah.
Oh, Lord.
I know. I was looking. I did
It's
it
not
in.
changed that much.
I was a junior.
And you
my
did it as
junior
well?
year.
Yeah.
And so it is. It's neat.
It was a great
Being able
program. I
to-
just remember, I remember learning so much about home and about, the different nonprofits that we had and really trying to enhance leadership skills and things like that. But it was a great program back then. It's even stronger program now. We're in our 30th year. So this is the 30th class of Leadership Tomorrow, and it's going to be a good year.
We're excited. I think every year we continue to grow and continue to make changes and enhancements. And, Ty has really taken on that leadership training role, and they do interview planning and how to dress, how to sit in an interview. They break it down and they make it fun for the kids. And that's the hard thing, I guess young adults is a better word to use, but each class is different. And what you try to do is find things to get them interactive. And they don't like being talked to or talked at. They want to be talked with.
That's right.
And I think that interaction part of it is the difficult part, but it's also the fun part. And to see them actually ask questions or be involved and be, have some of that emotion in it, and just, it's fun. And whether we like it or not, we always argue who had the best day.
Yeah. I was fortunate. I had the opportunity to speak to the kids this last year.
That was my day.
And that was your day, wasn't it? And I don't think they remember a single thing that I had to say to them, but at the end of it, I let them fly drones.
I was going to say they remember the drone, though.
I've had some of them come up to me and at CB just out and about, like, "Hey, I got to fly your drone." I was like, "That's awesome. I'm glad you did." They're surprisingly good at it, these kids. I don't know if it's video games or whatever it is, but they picked it up like no problem. I think some of them were better than me. Right out of the gate, but they may not remember anything I said, but they did get to fly a drone though, so I was like, I'm at least going to hang that hat on it.
It's little things.
Let them have some fun with it. So, tell us about being on the committee. How's that been for the two of you? What's that journey been like? And
I guess I've been on it a little bit longer than you have.
Awesome.
Not by too much. I guess I did it the year after I got out of leadership at Lufkin, so I guess I've been on it 7 years. And once again, I think we've had a change every year. This last year was by far the most challenging of figuring out.
We did have leadership tomorrow during COVID.
Yes.
So.
And most of it was virtual. And I felt like, we didn't want that group to lose out on the opportunity. And so we figured out how we could do it. And I think that was just being adaptable and being able to overcome and just to give them the opportunity. I think at the end of the day, it worked out. But I think we have a great group. It's not. I'm not going to say it's not the most demanding. We meet once a month, and we really it's really figuring out what we're going to do next. I think the difficulty is picking and choosing, because there are a lot of times there are great applicants and a lot of great applications, and we really sit there and go through every single application and read and listen to and figure out what parents say, not just parents but counselors,
all their
references. And so it gets a little bit daunting, because you don't want to say no or ever look back and say, I wish I would have done with this person. But I think that we, as we continue to have new leadership in the program and continue to have new faces, we continue to get new ideas, we just will continue to enhance the program and make it the best we can. I think we don't want to be complacent. We want to make sure it's the best experience for the students.
And that's really one of the best parts about the committee, I think, is that everyone does come willing and ready to say, what can we do to make it better? What do we need to change? And so we all recognize, we've got people from all, lots of different career fields that pull together. So they have interaction with, the youth in their own way. And so they could say, hey, we've noticed this change, so whether it is, we were able to bring on Ty now, and he helps us with our leadership training. We've had other leaders in the past, and so it's neat to see, like, hey, we really think that his style is going to work better with this group, or we need more digital training. They need to hear what's different about, or the struggles of social media, and how to do that appropriately as you move through life. Or maybe we need to focus more on communication, and we need to focus more on those interview skills, because they're not getting it quite as much as they used to. And so I'll have to say, we, as a committee, we like to sit down, and really, I think nothing is locked in stone. There's nothing that's like, well, this is how we did it when I was a junior, and you need to do it that way, because, well, Lauren, the world has changed quite a bit.
Very different.
Since, you were a junior, and so what can we do?
Yeah.
I mean, it's just crazy. So the committee, it's a lot of fun. There's sometimes it does feel like we're kind of butting heads, but it's because we want to grow, and we like to push.
Yeah.
We like to see what can we do to make this program better. We understand to have a day, a month with a group of juniors is like your captive audience. There is so much potential there. Yeah. And we really want them to walk away having felt poured into.
And I think that's where Ty has really come in and done a great job with the leadership training. I think that's where it's given us some consistency and some continuity of a curriculum. Of we're starting here.
And, we did not have a curriculum as of 3 years ago.
Not from a leadership training. It was literally whoever's day it was.
Right,
you're in charge of getting some kind of leader. And so, we've had a variety of leadership training. And so this one really kind of streamlines it and gets it all, all flowing in one direction. We're swimming downstream instead of against the current, I feel like. And so, and it's also one less thing for us to have to worry about. If I have to get up and have to do some leadership training, poor kids,
That's not true.
So to kind of piggyback on what you're saying, so the committee's had to make some changes just because the world's changed. So what are some things that you're seeing with these new generations of kids that are coming up that you're having to adapt to? And you mentioned social media and some things like that. What kind of changes has the committee had to kind of put in place because the world's changing and these kids are changing?
So I definitely, social media for sure. We like to make a point to go over like your social media presence and the way that you are representing yourself, not just in person, but virtually.
And this is in the context that an employer is going to totally
They're
creep
gonna
on your
look.
social media before they hire
100%.
you. Yeah.
Everyone is going to creep on you. So we just want them to know and see that. So we have implemented a little bit of that, of like, positive habits and ways that you can control what you're doing now, and that it's not a matter of you just get to delete it. Like, no, it is forever. The internet is forever, and it will be there, and you can find it. So we definitely talk about that. And then I also think just more communication skills. I think that they communicate differently, much better than what we do. So, like virtually, the students were much more adaptable to that switch. It was, I would say, much more difficult for me to flip to a virtual leadership tomorrow last year than it was for the students to flip to a virtual leadership tomorrow. They had never experienced an in-person leadership tomorrow, so they know no different. And they just pivoted right to it. And so we want to make sure that they are comfortable in person as well as virtual. And so getting to have, what we can in-person interactions with people, so that they can learn that body language and that okay, when you meet somebody in person, you do show up with nice pants on as well. It's not just the pretty top and gym shorts.
Right.
They know that, but we still joke with them.
I think it's important that y'all are teaching soft skills. I
Yes.
think that's what a lot of this generation is missing. They don't know how to interview and they don't know how to present themselves. And so I think soft skills are just so important. And I think y'all are doing a great job at really trying to enhance that.
And that's all Ty. And I just remember that day that we had Ty walk them through, and Tara was a part of it too. Just walking in and taking a seat, walking in, shaking a hand, eye contact, posture, all those things. And it makes a difference. I mean, when you live your life through a screen, you forget. And I think that's where, the kids didn't have the interactions with other schools that they usually get. And so you don't get the different ways of life, the different background. And you get that somewhat. But there's a difference in being a red devil and a panther and a bulldog and a hornet and everything in between. And so there's just a level of we want the kids to get out of their comfort zone and break through some of that, some of those inhibitions and be able to grow and be able to adapt and be able to really, when they walk in an interview, just to be presentable. I'll tell you what, last month when JB McLeod, I know JB as a pretty jovial person, joking around the golf course, smiling. But when he stood up to the podium last night and gave his speech, it was pretty good. It was delivered very well. It was written very well, and he delivered it very eloquently. And I was very impressed. And I think that's what it surprises you, because a lot of people don't see these kids in those type of situations. But to see him in a setting with his peers versus a setting in a professional setting, it was refreshing to see.
Interesting.
Yeah, I agree.
Just the confidence developed.
That's right.
Yeah.
They walk away believing in themselves. And I think that's so huge to get that as a junior. and to realize like, no, there is value in me, and this is the skills and the strengths that I have, and I'm going to confidently walk and lead. And it's really cool to see them grasp that.
And I feel like every year that one kid steps up. Every year that kid, whoever's the president or whoever's coming to speak, it's every year a kid comes and shows up Hall Henderson if he has to talk. He'd come back and speak better than Hall. So it's really impressive. And some of them, a kid a couple years ago just delivered. He's so passionate and so well spoken, and the diction, everything was just really good. And you walk away, you're like, that's incredible that he's a high school senior starting his senior year, and so it's fun to watch that growth and development, and I think that's what we do it for. I do hitting lessons with kids, and I like that more than the full on coaching a team, because you get to see the growth, you get to see the kids get better, you get to see clicks, you get to see I feel this, you give them instruction and they're okay. It makes sense. I get it now. And so it's fun when you can see that as they get older and continue to watch them grow through it like you can. Junior year is a big year. You're kind of figuring out what you do, where you want to go to school. Yeah. You're putting in applications, all those type of things. And so it's a good time for them to really figure out who they are and who they want to start to become.
Yeah.
We could not do this program without sponsors, and we're excited to have Lockheed Martin back as our presenting sponsor. They kind of took a hiatus after we let go of Science and Tech Fair several years ago. That was really what they were passionate about. But we've got Chike, who's with Lockheed, and she's come back, and so we're thrilled to have them back. But if you're listening to this podcast and you think, hey, I really want to get plugged in with these kids, and I want to get plugged in on the committee, give us a call and let us know, because we are always looking for sponsorships to be able to help. We do also provide scholarships for students, just like we do with Leadership Lifekin that we talked about earlier this month. But if you've got a high school junior that's wanting to be a part of this and they don't have the funds to do it, and you know that this program would be fantastic for them and would make truly a difference in these kids, because there are those kids that come through and man, you just see like a whole new person come out. Give us a call, because those are the kids we want to help, and we'd love to visit with you about sponsorships.
Yeah, and to capitalize on that, obviously I think the sponsorships are incredible, but if you want to showcase your business as well, reach out, say, hey, we'd love for you to come see us. We're always
got internships.
Exactly.
Like
we are always looking for different places, ways to enhance our program, enhance our day. We're limited on how many places we can go with schedules and buses, but like I said, we love bringing kids to places that they're passionate about what they do. Most every year I take everybody to see Chris Flanagan over at Real Graphics, and Chris generally does a bang up job. It's very, one year the kids got to make their own shirts. He goes through the process of how he got to where he is. And so we like to hear the story. We like to see what they do and then how they do it. Where did you come from? How did you get where you are? And then what are you doing? And so it's a lot of fun. I think it's eye opening for the kids. But like I said, if you're a business owner and you want to be a part of or open your doors up to us, we would love to hear from you.
That's right.
Awesome. How can the community get involved in this? So if you know of a student who needs to apply, how does that process work? So if someone's interested, or if they have a child who's interested, or if they're an employer who's interested, where would they go to do that?
So applications open up in the spring. Every spring semester we open those applications. And the best place to go is going to be the Chamber's website. So just follow that Chamber's website. You will see it posted, once applications are out. They make the Chamber does a good job to put that on their social media and their newsletters. But please follow the Chamber's website. Check in and see. If like you said, if it's something that you want your child to participate in, make sure that you pass that application to your child and say, hey, please apply for this. If you're a counselor or a teacher at a high school, or you're a next door neighbor and this program would be great, please be on the lookout for those applications and get those turned in. We want to see them, and
we also get those applications out to the counselors.
Yes.
Perfect. Awesome.
The counselors let the entire junior class know.
Yes.
Love it.
Yeah, we try to cast the net as wide as possible.
It's great.
Yeah.
Well,
I think now we are going to start trying to move that to an online application.
Oh, yes. It'll be
So
an online
Lauren's
application.
getting rid of her typewriter. She hand types every single one of the applications. And so we're getting rid of that process and going to an online. And I think that will streamline a little bit of what we do.
Yes.
And then how we do it. I think it's a little bit, everybody seems to be online nowadays anyway. So
I understand.
you
Well,
know,
that was
I
just
would-
a pretty step backwards for the kids. That was one
Yeah.
of those things. They were like, "Wait, what?
You have to fill it out.
How do I get this back to you?"
You have to print.
things are life's a lot harder without spell check.
So,
Yeah.
oh my goodness, yes.
Yeah,
I
it
live
is.
with spell check.
It absolutely is. Well, is there anything else that people need to know about Leadership Tomorrow that you want to let our listeners know about that we haven't covered already?
I think just it's a wonderful opportunity to showcase our many businesses and chamber members for Angelina County.
Sure.
But in showcasing, you are helping a junior student realize what they might want to do with their life or maybe don't. And so to be part of this it's just a wonderful way to invest in the future of Angelina County and to help grow our leaders. So obviously we're passionate about it. We're serving on the committee, but I think that there's no better way to invest in a wonderful future for Angelina County rather than pour it into Leadership Tomorrow.
Awesome. Well, thank you all so much for your time. Thank you for telling all of our listeners about this amazing program. And we want to thank you so much for listening to the podcast again this week. We truly appreciate your support. And if you want to catch the video version of this podcast, you can catch it on the Chamber YouTube page and on the Chamber Facebook page. Thank you so much, and we'll see you next week.